22-year-old Arseny grew up in his mother's care. The village woman took pride in raising the boy despite the absence of a husband. No one knew where Arseny's biological father was, and Tanya herself was not fond of talking about him. Due to the heavy physical labor, Tanya often fell ill. Her father, Konstantin, supported her in difficult times, and grandfather took part in Arseny's upbringing. The grandson enjoyed spending time with him. In school, classmates often teased the boy because of his old, worn-out clothes. Sometimes he came home beaten, as he stood up to his tormentors. After completing his education, Arseny went to the city in search of work. After a while, he was hired by a company as a courier. Here, he met the director's daughter, Lisa, by chance. The young man gave Lisa a ride home. That evening, they exchanged phone numbers and started dating. Lisa was not concerned about her suitor's financial situation, although she had been accustomed to luxury since childhood. However, Lisa's parents did not approve of the future son-in-law. "If you don't leave my daughter alone, take responsibility for yourself," demanded Lisa's father, Herman Stanislavovich. "You are just a driver to me, but we love each other," Arseny replied. "Get out, you puppy!" shouted the enraged man. However, after continuing to date the director's daughter, Herman framed the young courier. Arseny could not prove in court that he did not lose valuable documents, and Lisa sided with her father. In the end, the young man returned to his native village, and his family accepted him. One day, returning from the store, Arseny found a puppy. The animal whimpered in a dirty ditch, and the boy pulled it out. "Hello, buddy. I'll be your owner," he declared to the foundling. Since then, Snowball became a favorite in Arseny's family. Soon, Tanya fell seriously ill. Expensive medicines were needed for her. The son did not know what to do, where to get so much money for his mother's treatment, and he decided to become a rotational worker in another part of the country. Arseny risked his life, working in severe frost and enduring forest mosquitoes in the summer. Once, his team went down the river, where there was a strong current in great depth. Due to poor equipment, people drowned. Receiving the coffin, Tanya almost went mad. Indifferent neighbors supported the woman in organizing the funeral. "I want to see my boy one last time," lamented the grief-stricken mother. "This cannot be shown. The body is too disfigured," replied Konstantin. Snowball began to growl at the coffin, not letting anyone approach it. Konstantin found it strange but decided to open the lid. "It's not him," Tanya screamed at the sight of the deceased, clinging to her father. "That means our boy is alive." They called the company where Arseny worked. The company promised to investigate everything. It turned out that the body belonged to a guy from a neighboring village. Relatives took the coffin with the deceased on the same day. Vera, his sister, mourned heavily for her brother. "How will I live without him? He was my support," the girl complained to Arseny's parents. "And you stay with us. There's enough room for everyone," Tanya suggested. So, Vera stayed with them. Snowball followed her everywhere, seeking affection. One day, the family learned that Arseny had managed to survive. Local residents found him on the riverbank. The guy was warmed up and given a job, but he lost his memory and couldn't remember anything about his family. Forester Matvey Stepanovich helped Arseny settle in. The elderly man took him in. One day, sorting through old newspapers, Arseny saw an article about the tragedy that happened about a year ago. Suddenly, it hit him when he stared at a photo of his former colleagues. "We were together. I remembered," he exclaimed, and he headed home. By that time, Arseny was already earning a living from fishing and returned to his family. Before that, he thanked Uncle Matvey for saving him by inviting the man over. "I owe you," he said to him in farewell. "Don't worry about it. I did what any person should do," replied the old man. When his mother saw a familiar silhouette in the window, she exclaimed, "My son! My son has returned." After their joyful reunion, Arseny went to the grave of his friend, with whom he worked on that tragic day. At the fence, he saw his beloved dogs Snowball and Vera. The young people started talking, and Arsene was quite taken with the girl. The bitter experiences brought the couple together, and a romance blossomed. Soon, he proposed to the village beauty. Almost the entire village gathered for the lavish wedding.